let's talk mayo. When we're making sushi, mayo is one of those nice to haves. It's not a requirement, but it's a nice to have for when it comes to drizzling on toppings, dips, and things like that. So the Japanese mayo is slightly different. Well, it's pretty different from American mayo. American mayo has more like a tangy sour taste, and Japanese mayo is on the sweeter side. So if you're not able to find it in your local grocery store, there will be a recipe on how to make it yourself. It is available on Amazon, and you can usually find it in a Korean or Japanese market. I have not found it in a Walmart yet, but we could try it online. So the Japanese mayo is Kipai. I think that's how we pronounce it. I just look for the cute little character, and I buy a couple of them each time I go because my kids like to put it on everything now, not just sushi. And then this one is the plain version. This particular one is a wasabi. So it's wasabi, it's the green spicy horseradish flavor mixed in with the mayo. And last but not least, this one I can find in my regular grocery store. This one is sriracha mayo. The sriracha mayo is mixed with a spicy sriracha sauce and mayonnaise together. This one I can find in Walmart, Kroger, most of my box stores, but I usually pick mine up at the same time when I go to my Asian markets. And so these are pretty much my basics I work with when it comes to drizzling on some dips and flavors onto the rolls. Okay, next, let's move on. Okay, so unagi sauce is a sweet sauce. That's a soy sauce base, but it's very sweet, not like teriyaki. It's typically you find it on an eel roll. They call it unagi sauce. Another way I've seen it is just sushi sauce, and tends to have this dark color, rich caramel flavor to it. And then we use regular soy sauce. This soy sauce has a lime citrus flavor to it. It's a lighter version than this one. It's more of a watered down, not as salty. And then we also use just sriracha on its own. Wasabi, this one, it comes in already mixed, or you can find it in powders and then you mix it yourself. This is already pre-mixed in a tube. This one I use occasionally. It is usually found when you're ordering egg rolls from like a Thai restaurant. I like to sometimes change things up and add this on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I'm wanting to add some heat to my rolls and have a little spice kick, other than adding like a jalapeno slices and serrano peppers, one of the easy ways to add some quick heat is to use some sriracha sauce. In addition to that, if you still want to kick it up a notch, I add cayenne pepper. If I want to dial it down and just have a little bit of smoldering heat, I can use some chili powder. I found this at the market. It's a mixture of cayenne pepper, Japanese pepper, and a few other peppers in here, and it's just a nice little easy shake to have the different peppers blended together. All right. Next up, we have the wasabi paste that's already pre-mixed in the tube. It comes in a box like this, and it is a horseradish based paste. It has its own unique intensity to it, and I use it sparingly. A lot of times you'll see it put on the side of a plate, and people like to just put a little bit with some soy sauce and mix it in that way. Before you put a lot on, take a little dab and put it on your tongue and just kind of get your own feel for it before you start putting it on lots of things. So this is just my warning, is use this sparingly. Okay, ready? So let's talk vinegar. When I'm flavoring the rice, I will use a sushi seasoning vinegar. This vinegar already has the sugar and salt added to this. It's a quick, easy go-to for me. Sometimes it's labeled vinegar sushi. This is the plain version. This one is just rice vinegar. And if I use this, I need to add sugar and salt to have the same result as this. So you can find this one usually at like a regular grocery store. These other two I find when I go to the Asian market, so usually my Korean or Japanese market that I have nearby.